Dear students of Standard 12, welcome to the class of English for today. Today we are going to learn lesson 2 and 4 from Unit 10. So our first lesson is, what is conflict? Conflict means a disagreement among groups or individuals characterized by antagonism and hostility. Conflict occurs due to variations in opinions, ideas, beliefs, values, and principles. Actually, conflict is an inevitable part of our life. All of us possess our own opinions, ideas, and sets of beliefs. We have our own ways of looking at things, and we act as our choice. So this act may not be liked by all, so there occur conflict. Conflict may occur among individuals, group of people, or within ourselves. This conflict comes naturally. The clashing of thoughts and ideas is a part of the human experience. Actually, conflict influences our actions and decisions in every way. These conflicts have some merits and demerits also. Uncontrolled conflict is destructive. It often turns into war. But it has merit also because it is an opportunity for learning and understanding our differences. Now let's see the types of conflict. American psychologist finds out that conflict is mainly three types: economic, value, and power. Economic conflict. We know that our resources are limited. So when groups or individuals want to achieve more resources, then their conflict occurs. And value conflict means when there is variations in preferences and ideologies among the people. And power conflict. It occurs among individuals, groups, or even nations. When someone want to grab more power, then this conflict occurs. There are some other classifications of conflict, that is interpersonal and intrapersonal. First one is interpersonal. This type of conflict refers to a conflict between two individuals. It's a natural occurrence. It can help in personal growth or developing our relationships with others. But intrapersonal relationship, intrapersonal conflict is a slightly different. It occurs within one own self. It occurs within an individual. Actually, it's a psychological conflict. One's thoughts, values, principles, emotions are related to this. Then comes intragroup conflict and intergroup conflict. So, what is intragroup? This type of conflict that happens among individuals within a team. It is also helpful because this conflict helps to take decisions and reach goal of the team. And intergroup means when misunderstanding arises among different teams within an organization. And competition is one fact that causes this intergroup conflict. So these are all about conflict that is mentioned in our text. Now we'll go to our next lesson, that is lesson 4. Here we will learn a short story, Old Man at the Bridge, written by Ernest Hemingway, and it was published in 1938. So let's learn first about Ernest Hemingway, our author. Ernest Hemingway, born on July 21st, 1899, US. Hemingway served in World War I and worked in journalism before publishing his story collection In Our Time. He was renowned for novels like The Sun Also Rises, a farewell to arms, for whom the bell tolls, and the old man and the sea, which won the Pulitzer Prize. Hemingway won the Nobel Prize in 1954. He died in 1961 and July 2nd in US. So let's learn first the summary of the short story. The story Old Man at the Bridge by Ernest Hemingway is set in the backdrop of Spanish Civil War in 1938. This war took place from 1936 to 1939. The story starts with the description of an old man who was sitting at a bridge. It was a warlike situation as the fascist forces are advancing towards Ebro. Our narrator, a news reporter, was in the charge to cross a pontoon bridge to check the advancement of the enemy forces. Pontoon bridge means temporary bridge. He saw that an old man with steel rimmed spectacles and dusty clothes was sitting beside the road at the bridge while carts, trucks, and people are crossing the bridge to get to a safe distance from the enemies. The old man looked too tired to talk any further. Seeing the old man sitting there for a long time, the speaker went to him and asked him where he came from. The old man answered that he was coming from San Carlos, his native town, 12 kilometers away from there. The man smiled as it was a pleasure to him to mention his native land. Actually, whenever men think of his own native town, native village, he becomes happy. And whatever the situation is, he just smiled. Then the speaker had a chat with that man and came to know that the 76 years old man had no one but pets, two goats, a cat, and eight pigeons. They were his family, and he spent his time looking after the animals. Now that the enemy forces were approaching, he was asked to leave the place. So he was forced to leave his pets on their fate. The old man is not anxious about what would happen to his family, the animals. He thinks that the cat would be able to look after itself. But what about the pigeons and the goats? He asked the narrator to guess what would happen to his pets. The speaker consoles him that they will be fine. He asked the old man if he left the dove cage unlocked. As the old man answers in the assertive, he suggests that they will fly, but he cannot throw light on the future of the goats. Then our narrator asks the man to get up and try to walk further, as he would now leave. The man tried to walk but could not. He sat again in the dust. The narrator mentions that it was Easter Sunday and a grey, overcast day. He finishes his story by commenting that there was nothing in favor of the old man, except the fact that the enemy planes were not up in the sky for the overcast weather, and that the cats can look after themselves. So, this is all about the story. Now, let's learn the symbolic meaning of some characters. First comes Old Man. Here, Old Man becomes a symbol of the countless civilian victims of war who are without politics. He represents the devastating effect of war. Next comes Cat. Cat symbolizes the soldiers who can fight and take care of oneself. Here comes Dove. Uncaged dove is the symbol of hope. But in this story, still, this dove's fate is uncertain. Pigeon. It is the symbol of peace. You will find in the text that the old man was talking about pigeon, but later the narrator talked about dove. So we can find that the old man is looking for peace and the narrator was looking for hope. Then comes goats. Goats are helpless like the old man. They cannot find, even cannot take care of themselves. Actually, the helpless people symbolizes goats here. Here comes Star Sunday. This time indicates rebirth and change. The narrator mentioned this. That means he wants a change in his life. Actually, the theme of the story is resignation, depression, and impending death. It is reflected in the conversation between a soldier and an old man who had to leave his hometown during war. The story conveys the common problem of helpless victims, especially old people during war. We may here find that natural world is morally and spiritually better than manufactured world. That means nature, cat, dove do not destroy themselves like human. And if we compare the old man with the narrator, we may find that the old man is superior to the narrator because as a keeper, the old man is worried for animals, but he is unaware of his own fate. But at the end of the story, we find that the narrator leaves the old man there. So all this about the text. Dear students, you have homework. You have to learn summary and theme of lesson 1 and 3 and do this model question number 57 and submit it on 8 September. We'll meet soon. Till then, thank you and goodbye.